Yeah, my other the older computer that my husband had, I couldn't do I couldn't do Skype and I couldn't do Ustream at the same time. So he hooked me up. He really hooked me up. So I had when Mitzi was helping me being my mousey, I had to have her on another computer. So I was around at all computers and nothing would work right. So, anyways, uh, Darcy was asking me some questions about doing the melted crayon with napkins. So that's what I was gonna try to work today. It was using some, and I haven't turned on my iron, so I need to start that. And I'll be right back for a minute. Hold on.
Is Darcy here yet? Yeah. Oh, she might be working today.
Darcy?
Yeah. She was working today or not.
Okay. Wanted to show you guys. I did this one. I think I showed it to Dar. Um, but this one it was a background I had, and I kind of saw this eye right here when just with the shadows and the lights from the when I did the melted crayon, and then I started racing. So I started racing to kind of make an eye, and then I started racing on the other side and make another eye, and in this area too for the nose. And I started from there. I don't know if you guys, it's a little, I think that's better. So I kind of did the face, and it was a blue background, so that's why she's so blue. And and then I used the Prismacolors.
Hi, Claire.
And so anyways, and then I used gel pen, the white gel pen, this one, to do the white on the eye, and also use the gel pen to do part of her dress. Then on this side I use, this is the napkin, because this side was looking pretty, it was kind of bland between all the blue. So to add something interesting, I just added the napkin, and then I did some acrylics just to bring some lights. Hi Claire. And then this is some acrylic ink, so it was just something to add some interest to it. So, but anyways, it's nothing on this side. I mean, this is pure melted crayon. I didn't really color her face. All I did is just kind of use the Prisma pencils and drew the nose and the lips and even the eyes. It was just by using the eraser I was able to bring those eyes back to life. And of course I did, the darker side of the pupil. But
She's stunning, Martha.
so it's one of just those exercises. It was one evening, and she only took me 30 minutes. Hi, Vicky. So it's not, because I wasn't really using paints or anything. Most of the paints were just the hair. And then kind of like what Didi was doing today. This was another one, but this is actually I cut out the face from a magazine, and then I put black paint and then put white on top of it, acrylics, and kind of made, did my own my own eyes, because I was just trying to make her look different. And she had a big smile and teeth, so I kind of painted on top of that too, trying to make it different. And the nose, I made it a little bit wider. So just trying to do some collages too.
Wow. Everyone's saying, wow, gorgeous. Wow.
Yeah, yeah, kind of
Wow.
paint over it. Yeah, trying to make my, like I said, my own, so that way it doesn't look just like a magazine cutout. Kind of I don't know if they call it alter it a little bit. Thank you,
Martha,
Bar.
that's so nice.
And I was telling you last night. I was telling you guys, it kind of reminds me of Pam, Pocono Pam.
Ah,
So,
yes.
so I haven't really done much. I mean, I was cooking all for Christmas, all those tamales, and even my back went out a little bit this morning. So I think it's a muscle. So I must have pulled something when I was lifting the heavy pots and mixing all the masa. And so, anyways, so I guess we can get started. Anybody new that haven't seen the technique? I just trying to be sure I go again through try to do the basic. And like I said, usually if I'm gonna do some stamping before I do the melted crayon, I try to use versified ink, and the
Kathleen has not seen you do it yet.
okay, and the paper usually smooth Bristol board or bill.
Sarah has not seen it before.
Okay, which over the counter.
Oh, the thermacare patches.
What is you talking about?
For your back. They're
Oh, those Turbo patches?
yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I try to use one. I kind of just took some aspirin. Sometimes aspirin seems to work. And I put the heating pad and I'm doing better. It's not as bad as it was this morning. And moving around, it gets stiff, I guess, when you first get up.
Yes.
But it kind of scared me because one time that happened, I ended up in the hospital. I couldn't move. I couldn't even get out of bed. So that's not fun.
I've been there.
So okay, so like I said, for anybody who hasn't seen, this is the paper I usually use. Is Bristol board, and you can also use some the cardstock as long as it's a smooth paper. That's pretty much all you need, just a smooth paper. For inks, I usually prefer the VersaFine. That's my preferred ink, but uh, Stays On probably works better. It works good too. So when you spread the wax, it doesn't smear. Uh, let's see. My table is full of stuff, and I don't know where to start. Okay, so we're gonna. I think for iron, this is the iron I usually use, but you can use any regular iron. Does a And it doesn't matter if it has holes or, I mean, it's preferred not to have holes in the iron, but it's okay if it does.
Yes, she's doing her crayon technique today, Claire.
Yeah, we're doing wax, so it's just another variation from the other two streams I've done. Uh, I was also telling you guys, Wix wax, when you're trying to clean your iron, you can always clean it with Wix wax. And another tool would be just good old napkins, paper towels, napkins. And if I get moving too fast, be sure you guys ask me questions because a lot of times it seems like I move faster than expected. Some people may say, Martha, you need to slow down. You do it too fast. So if you do need to, just let me know and stop me. So what we're gonna do first is gonna be, I'm gonna stamp the background. So I'm trying to decide. I have this one. It's just, and this one, and also music, like a music notes. So you used to use encaustic art.
Hi, Beth.
Hi Beth. So I guess I'm gonna do the music notes for the background. And I used to do some hearts, so this is just pencil drawing. So we're gonna do a little bit of everything again. Mix it all up. Oh, good.
Oh, it's me, Beth. And me.
Yes, Mary Beth is the mousy.
Thank you, dog. Love you too.
I know Mitzi, I think she said she was going shopping today, so trying to get all the sales.
Hi, Karen.
Alright, so I'm gonna use this kind of yellowish color, and I'm probably gonna use like a sienna color, brown, and I may do a little bit of gold. Gold doesn't really show as much, but I'm trying to make it kind of light colors because I'm going to be using the napkin. If you use dark colors like this one, a lot of times it doesn't really show because it gets so translucent, because I'm going to adhere the napkin with beeswax, so it gets very translucent. So learn, by trying it out, that sometimes the lighter colors work better with the napkins. I'm also trying to find more maybe a white crayon. This is impromptu, so I'm not really prepared. I said I was gonna do it, and then I had to lay down because of my back.
Still deal.
Yep. All right. So let's see. When you try to, if for people that haven't seen it, when you do your mixing of the colors, you usually do it on the iron, and it's just by melting the crayons on the iron, and it's random, so you don't really have to, just feel free to do what you want to do. It's anything you do will be it's the right thing to do. The only thing, when you spread the colors, just try to do in a single motion, so you just will do that. If you go like this, you're going to be mixing the colors, so that's one thing you don't want to do. So when you mix the colors, like I said, you do it on the iron, and it's very random, no right or wrong.
Do you have a preferred type of crayon, Martha?
I usually used my preferred I stick with Crayola. Crayola crayons. They have more picnic. And I'm thinking about, I'm gonna experiment, and I was looking yesterday in Amazon to try to find soy wax and maybe use my own powders, my own pigments, and see what I come out. But right now it's only in my head.
Merry Christmas, Margot.
Merry Christmas, Marga. So anyways, I'm just doing it. It's just a random.
There's Darcy.
Hi, Darcy. Yeah, I was watching a video yesterday on YouTube. This guy was doing lipstick with mica powders and wax, and I was like, you know what? I can probably make my own crayons, really.
Why not?
Yep. Okay, so I think I'm done. This is pretty much, it has a little bit of white, but sometimes that makes it a little bit interesting too if you leave some whites on the card. So the next thing to do, I usually try to clean my paper. Try to start with new clean paper. You're gonna turn it over, and then you're gonna iron it upside down. Just try to heat it up.
Do you do that on any kind of paper pad here, Martha?
This is kind of like newsprint or doodle. The kids, they call it like doodle um, print or something, just for doodling for the kids. It's usually in the Crayola aisle too, or newsprint if you go to the artist aisle. That's what they call the newsprint. But you can use an old phone book.
Oh,
Oops.
you're focused. You need to give it a minute to focus there. Maybe hold up your ink pad.
Let me see. Where did my ink pad go? It's another one. There we go. But you can just, if you don't have a newsprint, you can use recycle, an old recycle phone book.
There it goes.
Is it better now?
Yes, it's great.
Okay. So, like I said, pretty much. And if you don't have this, you can just use, the white paper, the print paper for your computer. For your printer. That's good enough too. So, no need to go and buy special things. I usually like this because it's cheaper than using your printing paper. So, I have some hearts here. So I'm gonna use some acrylic paint. And also, if you want to prime your, after you use the crayons, you can prime it with a white eraser. Like if you're going to do painting or you want to line up the colors a little bit. This one, because it's already light colors. But to prime it, if you want to use acrylics, you can always use a white eraser. So that way the paint will stick better. Because this is very slick because of the wax.
Oh, okay. Probably white erase.
Yeah, or if you think like when you were mixing your colors with the crayons, you can always line it up with an eraser. And that's pretty much what I did. Like I said, I did with her. I line it up the areas like the nose and the eyes, so that way I was able to, give it some depth. So, and I'm doing it very basic. So I'm gonna just paint a heart. And I'm not even, sometimes I use the glazing when I'm mixing the acrylics, just to, that way you can just do some glazing instead of just the plain acrylic. And the acrylics that I prefer is usually the golden, the fluid acrylics. But it's not, you don't, you can use any craft acrylics, it's fine too. I'm just, this is what I have and this is what I use. Another trick too is I use charcoal if I want to, like I said, give them some shadows. I use the soft charcoal, and it's very soft, so a lot of times I have to go back and use layers. And I think I use charcoal with her too around this area, just to give some shadows. So that's another my, and a lot of times too what I do, it's very easy to, like, if you just, if you have a background and you're trying to draw, but you don't really want to, you don't want to, you can always use charcoal if you want to draw. But if you don't like it, you can always erase it. And if you do like it, you can always go back and use a pen, either a white pen or a black pen, and be able to draw. But like I said, if it's not permanent, so you can always erase it, even just with your finger. I don't know if I can see how easy erase. It will erase very easy.
And at the store, Martha,
Mhm.
charcoal is just called charcoal sticks.
Yeah, they're charcoal sticks, and it doesn't have any wood, so it's just, and I don't have the package, but it's just pretty much charcoal. Any charcoal would work, even if you have the charcoal pencils. I just use this one because it's so much easier. And also, if you're using, like, I also use it with white paint. Like if I would draw just to give it, if I want to use white paint and mix it, that way it stay permanent. Makes like a grayish color. So, and I can do it. This is all demonstration, so. Like, say for instance, you were using the charcoal. Like I said, any charcoal, even a pencil, if you were doing, you can use, trying to reach for another. And this is just regular Americana white. You can mix it to make like a gray color. And that way you can make it permanent just by using some acrylics. But if you don't want it, you can always just scrape it off. So, just demonstrations, different things that you can use to work. So,
Laura says she's digging this.
but like I said, I use a lot of charcoal. Like I said, if I want to get some depth and shadows, like I said, this was pretty much charcoal and a little bit of blue of acrylic paint and glazing, but most of it was charcoal, just to do washes. Same thing in this area, try to give some definition. So, anyways. And actually, you can probably mix it with the glazing if you want it more translucent. If you want that charcoal a little bit more translucent.
Glazing medium?
Yeah, the glazing medium.
Okay.
So this is.
We have a question from Margot. If you use the crayons to draw a design on the iron, different colors, would it stay intact in putting on the paper?
I guess if you do it, if let me see. I don't know what. Let's try it. I don't know what she really means, but let's try it. Trying to find paper. So okay. So if you wanna, if that's what she means, like do a heart or something like that.
I think, is that what you mean, Martha? Like draw your design? She says she expects distortion. Yes, that's what she means. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, you could. Yeah, if you want to do basic shapes, I don't see why not. I usually use it more for backgrounds than but that would be the Margot technique. It would not be Martha's technique, it would be Margot's technique. Um,
Barb is asking, what brand of iron is that?
this is a Clover. I think it's Clover. Do you guys see it?
Yes.
Okay. It's just a bigger version than the little quilting irons. But like I said, you don't have to buy, you don't have to have this one. I think I put them all away. I have from just a regular big iron, traveling iron size. Um, I have like, I don't know, I have a lot of them, but it gets too crowded and I usually put them away and just stick with one. Let me see. Everything is under my bed, under my table. Sorry. I also used this one, so I mean, as long as you use this area and where the holes, just don't put the crayons on the holes. But if it gets there, it doesn't really matter. Like I said, the iron is not really. You can use any type of iron.
Okay.
All right. And I was gonna just do a little bird, just to do a collage since I'm gonna be using the napkins. So something quick and easy. And like Darcy is always trying to clean up that glue. And all I'm doing just a little bit, just on top of the card itself, just to give her some variation of color. See, but this one doesn't stay because it's a slick paper.
Okay.
But so if you will heat it up, it will probably be the whole thing will be removed. So now what I'm gonna use is, this is the napkin I'm gonna be using. I'm trying to be sure I don't cover the birdie, so I'll be able to see the bird. And all you do, move this. I don't know if you guys, let me see. Can you do this? Is the wax. This is just big wax. It's a block of wax back. Just wax. You guys see it? A lot of times I also use it to clean my iron after I'm finished. Pretty much use the wax to clean my iron. But for right now, we're gonna adhere that napkin to the paper. So all I'm doing is melting some wax, and then all I'm gonna do is just put the wax on top of the napkin, and this will be acting as your glue.
Dar says she loves some beeswax. It smells so yummy too.
Yeah, this one is nicer than the crayons. The crayons, when they start burning and smoking, the smell kind of, I don't like the smell, but this smell is nice. The wax, the beeswax, sorry. Let's see how translucent it gets.
Yeah. Oh, this is amazing.
So I need to let it cool off a little bit and try to work. But see, you're able to see the bird now, from that I put on the background.
Everyone's saying, how fun is that?
And easy too. I mean, it's the layers, you layering, but it's just like magic. I call it
It
magic.
is.
Yeah, this is, like I said, it's a big difference when your colors are dark. See how this one is, it's really dark. And I use a lighter background, so.
Mark said, Martha's magic. Where do you find your beautiful napkins?
It's usually from, how we, being in the art world, you know how you kind of trade a lot and pass a lot of stuff around. I think somebody mailed them to me. I can't even remember who, or if I got at one of the retreats. I can't really remember. I have a whole box of them. So it's a fun thing to do, when you start swapping different things with people, because you can never find everything. Somebody else has the coolest stuff, better than yours. Like I drew when Dar is streaming, all those cool stamps she gets.
Margot says she's definitely trying this one out.
Yep. And and you can layer more wax if you want it chunky and, make it. And also the wax gets a little dull and you can actually shine it up.
Dar's asking, did you like the mouse tag, Martha?
Mouse tag. What mouse tag? Am I missing something, Dar? Did you send me something, Dar? No, I haven't got any mail. Oh, okay. Well, it should be here. You know how it is with the holidays. Sometimes the mail gets a little slow. So I have a little bit kind of a little bit too much. And when you get those big chunks, so this is actually how I came out with the technique. I was I already had like a background like this, but I didn't like remove the wax. So I was doing some crazy stuff, doing some collages, and then I was actually trying to adhere an image with wax, and it got really chunky. So that's when it made me turn, because it looked really ugly. So it made me turn it upside down and try to remove the image. And when I wipe it off, that's when I actually found out about my melted crayon technique. It was just a happy mistake. Just I was playing, and that's exactly what happened. How I, found the technique. Because I was so disappointed because it was so chunky because I had all those layers of crayons, and then I put Wix wax like this, and it was just looking so ugly, and I was just like, oh no, I don't like this. So I turned it upside down, and I was trying to remove, with the heat, I was trying to remove the image, and since I had so much wax, it just made a big mess. So I started wiping it off with a paper towel, and I was like, oh, that's nice. That's kind of neat. So from then on, that's how the whole thing started. But you know what? I'm gonna have to come back for a minute. I'm gonna take a 5 minute break. I just need to show you something else, but I don't have the other tool with me, so I'm gonna bring my other tool. Hold on.
Sure.
Actually, I didn't have to go too far. I did have it. I just didn't know where.
Me too, Barb. We like
This is another
nice
expen.
talking pins.
This is another expensive tool I use when I'm using wax. So we use a stocking to buff up so you can buff the wax and make it shine. So this is another buffing tool you can use. When your wax is looking dull, like a lot of times when you make a card and it's because of the, I don't know, the heat or the cool weather, it start looking a little dull. This is how you can buff it. Heat the stacking later and wax your legs. So you can shine up your card, your image with the stocking. In this area, I think I put a little bit too much. But see the difference how it shines the card?
Oh, it's beautiful.
So I'm kind of getting, you know, Christmas was done pretty much yesterday. Now I'm getting ready for Valentine's. So I'm starting. Oh,
Pantyhose.
my pantyhose. Another expensive tool.
Stockings.
Stockings.
Barbara said it looks like a vintage Valentine.
Yeah. So like I said, it was going to be something impromptu, kind of easy, because a lot of people were asking how to adhere the napkins to the melted crayon background. So it's as simple as it is. Hi, Darcy.
Darcy loves it. Sarah said it's gorgeous. Margot's asking if the napkin was peeled down to one ply.
Yes, it is. It's only one ply. So, you guys have any questions? Let me see if I can do another technique. Uh-oh. Who wants it? You want me to do the butterflies? So let me start with the clean paper again. Actually, you see how the background looks? I mean, the back of it looks so. I would probably use a piece of scrapbook paper to cover it all that.
Darcy says, me, I want it. And, and Dar says, Darcy, me, we're going to fight over it.
Okay, so how many people do we have? How many viewers do we have? Why don't we make it fair and see who will get it? Can you do that for me, Barry Beth?
16 viewers and 6 guests. 7 guests.
Okay, so I guess the viewers. Can you do a random pick for me?
You know what? I'm afraid to open another window because I might lose you with Skype open.
Okay.
But you could do the number thing like Dar does, where you pick a number between 1 and 25 and you write it down.
Okay, so let me
And
see.
everybody gets to put in one number.
Okay. I need a pen. Hold on. I'm gonna write it down. All right, I got a number. I didn't lose it. All right, I got a number. So let's see. 1 to 16. Who gets it?
And you get one guess, right?
Yeah, one guess.
1 through 16. Ready? Go.
Dar was first. Where is it? It's right here.
It's all that good karma, Dar.
Yep.
Dar, you better get some lottery tickets. Dar's cheating. She's psychic.
Did Darcy get to play? Oh, yeah, she was off by 1. You were close, Darcy. Okay, well, we can do another one. We can use
Oh, great.
we can use the butterflies. I might have to get me another.
Ooh. Gosh, you've got beautiful napkins. I guess I need to start paying attention to napkins.
Let me see.
One more thing to add to my treasure hunting list.
I also have this one. This is more like fall, I think, than spring.
Okay, there.
Who missed it? Oh, Michelle?
Oh, there.
Is that you, Michelle? You missed it? All right. Well, we can do another one. I know I cut some paper. There we go. I did cut some paper. So this is just 4 by 6. I'm doing kind of like postcard size 4x6. So,
Barb says she's going to catch the rest later. Loves your creations, Martha.
okay. All right, Barb. Thank you for coming.
Bye, Barb.
So, this is a new stamp I got a couple of weeks ago. I always say I don't need no more stamps. Got plenty of stamps. I will show you my wall, but it's really a mess. Let me see. Just don't look at that table because I don't have a whole lot of storage, so my tables are pretty much full with stuff. Alright, here we go.
Hi, Fiona.
Can you guys see all my wall of stamps?
Oh, wow, nice. Where did you get all those neat shells?
They were actually, it was actually here. It was some funky, somebody did. It was like 70s, and my husband just added more shelves to it. But it was already here when we bought the house.
70s. Very cool.
So, yeah, it's a lot of junk on that table though. I work in layers. Sorry if I moved it too fast for you guys.
Sarah says, eek, it's Stamp City. Nor wants to live in your studio. Barbara says, summer in Mitzi's den, winter in Martha's. There's something about being able to see all of your things. I'm a person who needs to be able to see my stuff.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't have a whole lot of see, this used to be a dining room, like a formal dining room,
Right?
and so there's no closet, and so I don't have a whole lot of places to put my stuff. So a lot of times ends up on my table, just like I said, layers and layers of stuff, and I use it very quickly.
Darcy says we all like other people's stuff. That is very cool, Darcy.
I'm using this stamp too, so just kind of doing a small collage. Yeah, I stayed on pajamas all day because I wasn't feeling good. My husband, it was like, "You're not going to Michael's?" I said, "No, I'm not feeling good." He gave me a $50 gift card, and I said, "I'll just save it for later." So I don't know where. Pardon me? Yes, our ruler stamps. It kind of has like, it has buttons, the ruler, and it has lace, and then it
Who's
has,
that by, Martha? Can I ask?
I think it was a Stampington. It doesn't have anything, but I think it was Stampington.
That is super cool.
And I bought it a long, long time ago. Probably going on, I don't know, about 8 years probably.
Really?
Yep,
Huh. Especially the lace. That surprises me.
yep. I liked it because because it had 4 different stamps. So, hold on a second again. Like I said, it's impromptu, so I'm gonna have to get up again.
No worries.
So I'm using masking tape. Can you guys still hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear, guys? Ladies?
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, that's good. I took off my headphones and I wasn't sure. Alright, so what colors am I going to use? I think I'm going to use pink this time. A little bit of pink. It's a little fluorescent. Let me see. I think I like this one better. And I usually try my colors on a paper, so that way you don't, even though they're not really the same, some of them can be more translucent than others, but to give you an idea, let's see. So I lost my colors. I moved them. I don't know where. Oh, here they are. I'm going to continue with this one just because the colors has to be light for the napkin to show. I don't know where I'm going with it, so just be patient. Think using my birdie again, using a bird again. I'm gonna use probably a nest. Okay, so trying to find my Prismacolors. Alright, I'm gonna use white,
Okay.
and I'm gonna color the eggs. And I'm just gonna do a little bit of light somewhere. Okay.
Martha said this is a fascinating process, isn't it? Completely engrossed in it. It's amazing.
And I'm winging it too, so it's not like I'm prepared or I'm just trying to come out with something. I never know what I'm gonna come up with this. So I'm kind of coloring the nest. It's addicting. For the longest time, that's all. I mean, seemed like that's all I was doing. Okay, so I color the. See, and I use the crayons to color. The only thing I use the Prismacolor, which is for the eggs, just in case. Like if you go over it, you can always use the eraser. See, like I don't know if you guys can see. I have a little tiny bit on the egg, but all the stuff just grew around me. I have so much stuff around me. So I'm just cleaning the iron just so I don't have a lot of the brown.
You just rub a dry paper towel over the top.
Yeah, just a dry paper towel. And sometimes if you get like really dark blues, you can always use the beeswax to clean it and remove the colors.
Martha, can you get those big beeswax bars at like Michael's or
Yeah,
Joann's, do you know?
it's at
Okay.
Michael's with you find the candle making.
Candle making.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
hmm And they last too, because I have had this one for I think since I started with this technique since it was like 2008. So, because this,
Wow.
yeah. So it lasts for quite a bit. All right. So I'm gonna do pink, and I'm gonna put a little bit of yellow again. Oops, wrong color, but it's okay. So what I did, I
Yes,
did.
she's recording it.
I did the mask. So I'm gonna remove the masking tape, and I'm gonna remove the wax, so that way I can do another different color, and the colors won't run together. So I'm putting the paper, the masking tape back. So just to, now I'm gonna find another color.
We have a question.
Okay.
Michelle is wondering, will beeswax pellets work with this too? I have those.
What you mean for the napkin? To adhere the napkins? I think it can work, 'cause you can use a brush if you're not able to use the iron. The easiest way to when you're doing the napkin is to use the iron as your tool. But you can always use a brush if you melt the pellets. Alrighty. I'm gonna steal. Let's see. I think I'm gonna use this one and that one. I think this peach. It's a peach color. when you're trying to do vintage, this is probably the best colors to work with. And since I was using this pink, I'm gonna do a little bit of pink too.
Dar's asking, with the pellets, you just drop a pellet or two on top of the project and hit it with the iron?
Yeah, you can do that too. Yep. And I think I do have pellets. I just never used them. But we can give it a try too.
Michelle says she's going to go dig out her melting pot and her pellets.
Yeah, that's another reason I use the iron. I mean, I do have the melting pot. I think we all have so much. End up using only a few tools. I have had that melting pot forever, and I think it's in the garage because I didn't have enough space for everything, so I had to put some stuff in the garage. And then it's like Mr. Timmy came out with those other techniques using the melting pot, and I have to dig it out again.
The mad hunt for the melting pot.
Yep. Alright, so how's it looking? Are the colors not too muddy?
No. I'm just amazed at the way you're choosing colors. It's just yummy.
And I think I'm probably going to add a little blue to it.
So what is the name of, I don't want to say orange because from here it looks orangish.
Mm-hmm.
Is there
It was the peach, I think. It's a peach color.
peach?
Yeah.
Because it has this wonderful vintagey
Yeah.
peach kind of muted feelings. Gorgeous.
And I'm adding some blue just for contrast.
Or is she shrinky dinks in the pot better than oven? Ooh, maybe you could do those on a stream, Dar.
Actually, one lady gave me this. Let me show you this one. Let me bring it. Some lady at the art retreat with ATCs for All in Dallas gave me a tool too, and I haven't tried it yet.
Nikki did that thing where it looked like glass. It was just amazing.
This is what lady gave me. I guess this is for encaustic waxing.
Oh, how cute is that?
I
Sorry,
just
session. Little things.
and I haven't really tried it because I think I will have to use brushes for this if I melt the crayons here.
Oh, it might be a way to melt your own colors, though. You think, Martha?
Yeah, or maybe
Painting your own?
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe I can use it for that. But it's neat.
Looking.
It's neat looking.
I'd hang that on the wall when I wasn't using it, of course.
Yep. But like I said,
Likes it too. It's a good thing we can't reach and grab.
and that's like I said, you know, we all share so many things with each other. You meet some wonderful people.
Never seen that tool.
And she had like three, and then she says, "Since I took your class, I'm gonna give you this one." I said, "Okay." All right. So back to the postcard. So that was pretty much it. And since I did white for the eggs, I'm gonna use the eraser,
Hi, Mitzi.
and it just lightens it up a little bit more if it looks too dull. Even on, hi Mitzi, did you go shopping?
Oh, well, you're sick, Mitzi? Your daughter's sick.
Oh,
There's a lot of people got the bug this holiday.
I had it during Thanksgiving. My husband had to
Mm.
cook dinner because I couldn't cook. I stay in bed all day. And then he was begging me to eat, and I couldn't even eat either. I was just too sick to eat. And thus, very unusual for me to be that sick that I can't eat.
Oh, yeah, Marco. The holidays do because you have that pressure of you're supposed to feel your best. So when you're sick, you're right. There's this awful, I don't know. I guess that part of it's kind of ridiculous. Well, Mitz, I'm so sorry. Is anything working to help you? Oh, good idea, Sarah. I think Sarah's going to become an international massage therapist. Travel the world arting and massaging.
I couldn't go shopping because my back, like, okay, so I'm gonna add the birdie by right here.
Ah.
Can you guys see it?
Now, was that from the napkin, Martha,
No,
or
this
just
no, this was just it was just some clip art, some stuff I had. Instead of using another card, I'm cutting off the card. I didn't want to cut the. So I had a little extra birdie laying around here.
love it? Fiona said, "Brave Sarah, I wouldn't go near my hubby's feet." Oh, you gals. I think Martha needs a good massage too with her back.
Yep, that's what my daughter said. Mom, you want a massage?
Ooh, don't turn that down.
But then it's like, oh, I gotta go. There's that. I think a lot of times, I have to do something to deal with the pain because if I just think about the pain, it just gets worse. So I'm always up to doing. Alright, so I'm gonna be using again the charcoal just for shadow. I don't know if it's made a big difference or not.
I like how you can make that soft as you want. That's really neat, Martha.
Yeah, and like I said, if you want to make it more permanent, you can always use the glazing or just the white because it's so soft that if you rub it too much, it'll go away. A lot of times I use fixative, but the spray gets so strong that
Oh yeah, yuck. survived the day after shopping.
I didn't
Sounds like
go.
many of us aren't up to it.
And also, like if you want to add more lights, you would use a gel pen. If you want to add,
Which one do you use, Martha? Gel pen?
this is check what they call it, the Sakura, Kura, gel pens, and you can just add some lights if. I'm just doing a demonstration. Like I said, when I did this one, this is all there is. Her color is all gel pen on top of the crayon.
That's amazing.
So I think we're ready for the napkin now. And I only may use a little bit. I may not use all the napkin like I did on the other one. Or I'm just afraid it's not gonna. Actually, it probably work if I do this, because my bird is right here. Okay, so warming up the wax with the iron.
Mitzi said she's sorry she was late to be your mouse today.
Oh, no problem, Mitzi.
Marcy said, this is like the coolest thing ever. And I got a list of supplies here.
Then I don't think my iron is hot enough because it's not melting it.
Oh, I didn't ask her. Anyone ask what temperature setting's the best on the iron?
On the iron, I'm using, here's this silk, on the silk setting. It doesn't have numbers or anything.
Silk setting.
Oops. You need to let it harden a little bit. You can barely see the bird, I think, but I don't even think you can see the, so I'm going to have to cut a little bit.
I was going to ask you, what do you do if you feel like you covered too much and you want more of your original back?
Just heat it up again and cut off the, remove some of the napkin.
Oh, Mitzi's asking if you could please show the bottom of the iron.
It's smoking too, so I need to turn it lower. Every time you see that, when you see the iron smoking, turn it lower because it gets you don't want the fumes. Okay, so trying to remove a little more of the napkin. Yeah, the nest got lost with the napkin. And sometimes that's gonna happen, so most of the stuff I do is instinct. I was telling Dart a lot of times she teaches like some, like she was telling us about the composition, and I was just like, oh, I said I kind of follow that, but mine is instinct. I've never really taken any classes, so everything is self-taught. Oh, this is not a hearing.
Did you say you've never taken any classes, Martha?
No, I mean some of the, like I took a couple like on a scrapbook store, but it's not hasn't really been like, it's been more like a craft class, but nothing really like art class or anything like that, composition class. Nope. Mine has pretty much been instinct.
Oh, wow, that's incredible. Dar says we teach instinct. You better copyright that, Dar. Give it a name. It's actually really neat. I like that. Michelle has a question. My guess is I can try this with tissue paper, right?
Yeah, you can do tissue paper. You can stamp your images on tissue paper and then do the same thing.
Oh, it's just alchemy.
Yeah, I mean it's just so many. The background is what makes it interesting. After you do the melted crayon background, you can do almost anything that your heart desires. So I don't know, is the bird kinda still kinda looks a little bit lost there.
That's Martha's beeswax bar she's had since 2008, she said. Wow.
Just using a little bit of white just to see the bird, because the bird was pretty much. Bye, Margot.
Hang in there, Margot.
Hi, friend. So let me see how long I've been. So we want to do another. See who can win this one. And I probably do a little bit more. And Dar, you can't play. Sorry.
Your luck is too good, Dar. Go get the lottery.
Okay, so how many people we have now? We have 20 viewers. And,
Well, you know, it said on the bottom of the box it says 29. On the inside of the chat it says 20 viewers.
and 7 guests.
Yeah.
Or 8 guests now. 7 and 8, something like that. So now we had 21 viewers. I guess whoever was the guest came in. So,
We didn't start yet, Mitzi.
all right. Let me get another number. Okay, so I have a number. So I guess from 1 to 21.
Okay, ready? One guess. Everybody go.
For the Joy. She was the first one.
Woo! Sweet 16.
So I'm gonna need you to email me Photo Joy, and mine is really easy. My emails are really easy. It's either Yahoo or Gmail, so you can send it to either one with my username.
Joy said finally, it's been 156 days since I last won something. You must have a good memory, Joy. You just email Martha. She has her address right there. Hi, Fran.
So this one is gonna be for Joy, and this one is gonna be for Dar. Same technique, different colors, just the background.
She said thank you.
You're welcome.
Or says thank you. Lucky, lucky me. Dar. I think I'm gonna send Dar money to get me tickets.
I know. And this one I didn't buff it, but you, like I said, you can buff it with a stocking. And the reason I wasn't buffing it was because I had the gel pen, so. It's like they say, wax on, wax off.
Oh, the pantyhose. I gotta remember that.
Yeah, pantyhose. So who was arting along? Anybody who was trying the technique?
Darcy was.
Oh, how'd it come out, Darcy?
Michelle's just starting. She's
Oh,
getting her pellets warmed up there. Claire's journaling in her little journal. Not doing the whack, though. She has a lot of kitty cats.
just Joyce. I did record.
Hi, Joyce. She sure did.
So probably the next one I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to use silk, melted crayon on silk. So we're just gonna be doing backgrounds for that. So if you want to
So,
do,
fabric?
yeah, fabric.
Oh, okay. Thanks for telling us ahead of time. It's nice to be able to get the supplies.
Yeah, this lady, she did from UK. I know, actually from Scotland. I'm sorry. She used it on silk, but she's a sewer. I'm not a sewer, so I'm just gonna be doing backgrounds. Maybe to do some dolls later on or something. So gonna try to do melted crayon on silk.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, Joyce has pink silk.
I guess we can try it to see how it comes out. I'm gonna use white silk because I'm trying to do a funky doll. So I'm gonna try to do the body with melted crayon on silk.
Oh, wow. Is that a 3D doll, Martha, or?
Yeah, I was gonna try to do a 3D doll. Yep.
Oh, neat.
Since Fran and Dar were doing dolls, I want to do a doll, but I'm gonna use melted crayon. So we'll see what happens. But like I said, next time we're just gonna do backgrounds.
Okay.
Just the background. Just try to use the technique on silk.
Dar's holding her breath till she sees your doll.
Well, we're gonna do step by step. So I'm gonna do first the just like I said, just the fabric, and then later on I go. Well, I can probably work on my design first, and then let's see, cause I'm gonna have to be sewing it in. Sewing and streaming, I don't think it's gonna work with the sewing machine. So,
Well,
anyways,
Sarah's done it, and Barb's done it. Who else has streamed with their sewing machine? There's been a couple people.
so I'm gonna do like I said, I'm gonna do melted crayon with a silk, and then I'm gonna probably try to draw my own face. I know Barb, she draws her faces too, right? For her dolls. So I'm gonna try to do the face too with Prismacolors and melted crayon and see how it comes out. It's gonna be an experiment, so I'm not sure how it's gonna come out. We'll
Sounds
see.
very exciting.
And then if I ordered the soy wax and some pigments, I might do my own crayons too. So, but I'm gonna need to do that first. I need to order that stuff and see if I can experiment making my own colors. So, thank you everybody. Thank you for coming along. I'm gonna stop the recording right now.